What's up, guys? This is video number 2 in the Fit from the Start video series. I am Mike Wisenhunt and this is Big Wiz Training. Today we are going to go over how to choose a training routine. A lot of times this can be underrated a lot because people don't really see the importance of a training routine. When you're brand new, when you're just getting started into exercising and whatnot, you really want to think about getting a set training routine written down. Okay, what this is going to do is it's going to, first of all, it's going to keep you motivated and going to the gym. Just like if you have something written down, you're more likely to do it, you know? So if you write down a good training routine, that's going to be one step further into making sure that you stay consistent with the gym, which is in our 6 steps. We're saying 6-step video, first one that we made. Secondly, the most important thing that you have to have when making a training routine is a goal. That was also in the very first video. See how all this is tying together. The number one thing that you want to have when making a training routine is a goal. Okay, you can't make a training routine unless you absolutely have one. If you don't have a goal, you can't make a training routine. That's just how it is. Okay, so let's say there's tons of different goals that you could possibly have, whether it be to lose weight, whether it be to gain muscle, burn off fat, or become an athletic, or an athlete. You can go for a bodybuilding type. You can go for a beach body. Shoot, you can have anything you want. And each training routine for each type of body is going to be completely different. Okay, so having a specific training routine based on your goals can be very, very effective. Okay, so don't just go into any magazine or any internet site, look up a training routine and think that it's going to work specifically for you. Okay, so that's not how it's going to work. So you want to have something that's altered specifically for what your goals are. Secondly, you always want to make sure that your training routine has both aerobic and anaerobic exercising in it. A lot of guys, especially like myself, I used to do this all the time. I would go into the gym and I would just lift weights, okay? And to be honest, most of us do. You know, we're hard-headed, we're sometimes brand new at the gym. All we want to do is lift weights and get big. I understand, that's totally, it's totally understandable. But you've got to understand how important aerobic exercise is. Okay, not having things like cardio is really going to put a damper, really going to put your workout a lot further down than it could really be. Some types of aerobic exercising could be going on a treadmill, running, walking, any of the exercises or things that you see at the gym nowadays. You know, there's tons of cardio equipment, but there's lots of other things that people don't understand. You can do a lot of body weight things that help boost your endurance. That's typically what aerobic exercising is for boosting the endurance, how long you could go at a manageable heart rate. The heart rate for aerobic exercising is usually roughly around 120 to 140 area, okay? That's going to roughly burn off more fat than it would carbs, okay? The anaerobic exercising is what you see most guys doing. It's the working out, it's the rest in between sets, cycling sort of thing. It could also be things like running, but you'd be running real fast and then pausing for a minute. What do they call it? Like 30-60s. You could do sprints for 30 seconds and then rest for 60s. That's anaerobic as well, even though it's running, and some people might think that's aerobic. That's incorrect. Anaerobic can also be running, but you'd be running at a very faster pace. Other things could also be explosive training. Explosive training is a very effective way. A lot of it has to do with legs. Legs is a great way of doing explosive training, but jumping could be a way of anaerobic exercising, excuse me. But there's tons of different ways. It's not just working out in a gym, set, rest, set, rest, set, rest. That's not the only way to do anaerobic exercising. There's tons of different ways. So depending on what type of body you're going for, whether it be an athletic body type, a beach body, bodybuilder, or just to simply lose weight if you're a female, anything, you want to make sure you have a mixture of both. You can't just lose weight and you can't just build muscle. You want to have a mixture. You don't want to be, women, you don't want to be this skinny little bony girl, and guys, you don't just want to be this big meathead who can't run a quarter of a mile. You gotta have a combination of both. And also, guys, here's a little tip. I have a lot of friends who work out and they come up to me and say, is there any sort of way to, help get muscle endurance? I mean, there's absolutely. I mean, a lot of guys just do the set rest method that we've already talked about. But you can also do things like drop sets. Okay, that's going to boost muscle endurance. That's going to make your muscles keep on going, but you're also still building the muscle. Okay, so there's drop sets, there's supersets, there's trisets. There's tons and tons of exercises. I'll probably go over that in a different video. It's totally a different video for now. But just remember, you've got to have both aerobic and anaerobic exercises in your training routine. Okay, and making a training routine is very simple. You just got to have a goal. Okay, we'll probably go deeper or more in depth with each individual goal. If someone has a certain question, by all means, I'll probably go further in depth. But I wanted to keep this a little bit rather short. And just keep it on a basic workout routine. Okay, so this is just for newer people who don't know exactly how to get started, or some people who just don't know how important a workout training or a workout routine can be. Keeping track of your progress is huge, guys. It really, really is. Before you even get started, you should take your pictures, take your measurements. It's the number one thing to do. Tracking your progress is going to make sure that you know how well you're doing. Okay. Over time, you're probably going to start to memorize the numbers and whatnot, but you still should keep a relative documentary, just so you know later on in advance. I mean, shoot, I brought this all with me. These are literally only half of what I've done over the years. This is the very first training routine that I've ever done. Okay, when I first started, I wrote down everything I had because my trainer told me to. This is what I wrote down. I'm probably not going to let you guys see this because the training was pretty bad. I thought I was smart, but I wasn't. Yeah, this is pretty bad training, but the main thing is I wrote it down. I can look back and say, wow, this is what I did in the beginning. This is where I've come. I've got books. I got 2 more of these lying around the house somewhere. Okay, they're all filled. I've got, notebooks. Keep track of your progress. It's really a great idea. Other than that, let me look at my notes real quick. I don't think there's anything else I really wanted to cover except for just basic making a training routine. But that's about it. Like always, any questions, comments, or anything, check out Facebook. I got to do something with this ending because these endings start to suck. They get really, really old and annoying. So I don't know. I got to figure something out instead of just saying question, comment, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. But that's all I have for now. So Facebook.com, Big Wiz Training, YouTube.com, Big Wiz Training. Hit me up. Share the Facebook pages, please. Share the YouTube pages. We got to get the name out there. It's just how it's got to go down. Other than that, hit me up. Big Wiz and Hunt. I'm out. Peace.